Hello everybody, Sally Cattle here, Registered Independent Marriage Celebrant in New Zealand. I've come on today to help couples who are having trouble working out how to go about applying to get married here in New Zealand. So I'm going to talk to couples that are overseas and wanting to return to New Zealand to get married, and also couples here in New Zealand that aren't quite sure of the legal process of how to apply to get married here. So first of all, we need to think about where you're going to get married. So for instance, you need to choose your venue. So whether it's an outdoor venue or an indoor venue, you will need to make sure with that venue that you can get married on the date you've chosen and what the requirements of that venue are. If it's an outdoor venue, I recommend that you have an indoor choice as well. So when you fill out the form, you'll put your first venue of choice if it's outdoors, and then your second venue of choice as an indoor option in case of inclement weather. Once you've decided on your venue, you might like to choose your celebrant. So your celebrant would be depending on what type of celebrant you want. If you want a personalised ceremony, that's a ceremony that reflects your love for each other and is totally personalised and endorsed by the celebrant, legally married, in a ceremony of your choice, using elements of your choice and people of your choice throughout the ceremony, that would be a personalised ceremony. So you would tick that on your form. If you wanted to get married in a faith organisation, you would need an organisational celebrant. They usually have their own people to do those things, but if you're coming from outside of New Zealand into New Zealand and you're not sure, have a look at the organisational celebrants that you can choose from on the government website, or contact the faith organisation in the area that you're looking at and they will advise you. You can also have a courthouse ceremony anywhere in New Zealand. A lot of registered celebrants like myself can marry people with personalised ceremonies or a registry courthouse ceremony. The only restrictions for the courthouse ceremony are they're totally not personalised. They're exactly as they're written by the government. So we use a scripted script and strictly adhere to that. And we can only marry you between Monday and Friday. The good news is we can get married at any site, so it's not in a courthouse now, it can be any venue and it can be any time of day. So 24 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and it can be at a venue of your choice. If you have a personalised ceremony, you can get married 7 days a week, any venue of your choice, and it's totally created, bespoke to you, totally unique to you and your ceremony, your celebrant, as I would advise you on the type of ceremony. We would work together to make it and craft it to be exactly your ceremony, your day, in your way. So let's get back to the legalities. So you've chosen your venue, you've chosen your celebrant. So then if you're normally resident outside of New Zealand, you would need to go on the website and you would need to fill out the form, and I'll just give you the website name. Is www.govt.nz/family-family-fanu/getting-married/get a marriage license. So I'll put all these details up because that's a bit mammoth for you. Anyway, if you're normally resident outside of New Zealand, you would need to fill in a BDM 58. The BDM 58 is the Notice of Intended Marriage, and you would need to get that form filled out online and signed, and the fee paid at the cost of $150. So when you fill out the form, you fill it out and you apply no more than 3 working days ahead of the marriage. It can be 3 months to 3 days before. So I would suggest that you apply, say if you're getting married in October, I would suggest if it's the end of October, you apply for your marriage license the end of July, beginning of August, so that you get a few extra days where you can cover your marriage, and if you've had to postpone the date, you can move the date to fit in with you. If you have any questions on that, you can call the BDM direct on, if you're outside of New Zealand, it would be +64 9 339 0852. Or if you're in New Zealand, you can call free on 0800 22 5252, and that would be a free call. So you fill out your BDM 58, explaining your venue, your choice of celebrant, and you would get your form statutory of declaration witnessed by a notariatory public. So if you need to get somebody outside of New Zealand, if you're in a Commonwealth country other than New Zealand, for example Australia, you would need a Commonwealth representative, a Justice of Peace, a notariatory public, a judge, a solicitor of the High Court of New Zealand, an Australian legal practitioner, or a court clerk or registrar who certifies his or her authority to take an oath of judicial proceedings. It's all on that BDM 58, so you can read it online, or you can ring up if you're uncertain. You can ring up on that +64 339 0852 and talk to the Birth, Deaths and Marriages department. They will help you to understand what you need to do. Once you've filled in that form, you send it back via online, and you pay your fee, which is $150 for your marriage license. I also suggest that if you're thinking of having a marriage certificate at that time, because you want to use your certificate after you're married, you apply for it at that time, and it will come to you as soon as your marriage is registered. It will be with you within a fortnight, 3 weeks, and that's an extra $33. So for 183 New Zealand dollars, you will have your marriage license and your marriage certificate ordered for when you're married. So you send that in, and then after that's sent in, your celebrant will receive a copy of your BDM 10, which is your notice of intended marriage, and your marriage license, and you'll also get your copy of particulars. So you'll have 2 of those which will need to be with you on the day. So on the day, who do you need to be there in person on the day? So you need to have the couple, you yourselves, so that's the 2, your celebrant of choice, so that's 3, and then you would need 2 witnesses. So your 2 witnesses have to be there legally in person to be married in New Zealand. So that gives you 5 people who have to be present. So if you're choosing an elopement or a micro wedding or a very small intimate ceremony, those are the 5 people you would definitely have to have there with you. If you're wanting to include other people, I'm sure if you had a photographer or somebody who was one of the witnesses or guests that were there who was technically savvy, we could arrange to bring them in on Zoom or some other form of electronic, and have people listen in or record it so that you can play it back to them afterwards. But you could talk to me or your celebrant of choice about that when we discuss it. So that's the same whether you're normally residing outside of New Zealand or you're actually living in New Zealand and getting married. You need those 5 people present. So just to recap, if you're outside of New Zealand, you need to fill out a BDM 58. It's all online at the government website, which I've put here below. You will need to fill out that form and make sure you've got your 2 venues of choice. So if you're deciding on an outdoor venue or an indoor venue, you've got 2 choices in case of unforeseen circumstances. Apply for your notice of intended marriage from 3 months to 3 days before you're married. I recommend that you do it three months before or 2 months before if you know, so that you can get your dates locked in with your celebrant and your venue for all your catering and other things that you need to arrange. So you need to fill in your BDM 58, and you need to pay for your license online, which is 150 New Zealand dollars. And if you want your marriage certificate to come after you're married, that will come once you're registered as married couple, and that's an extra $33 paid directly to the Department of Internal Affairs when you apply for your license. It's all step by step and it's all on there. If you're unsure and you need to talk to them about any details, you can contact them from outside of New Zealand on +64 9 339 0852. Or if you're actually in New Zealand, you fill out a BDM 60, which is a notice of intended marriage to couples normally resident in New Zealand. Fill it out exactly the same way. If you have any queries, you just ring 0800 225252. That's if you're in New Zealand only, and that will be free. If you have any questions and you're not quite sure, just contact me or a celebrant that you've chosen and we can help you through that. Other than that, you just fill out your forms, send them off. If you've got any queries about anything we've talked about today, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can find me on social media at Celebrate with Sally or www.celebratewithsally.com, or you can send me an email on hello@celebratewithsally.com, and I'd be very happy to talk with you and guide you through the process.